Alright, yeah, we gotta talk about it. This is actually not that bad, believe it or not. We've been speaking about the Vancouver Canucks in a fairly negative way the past few weeks here, months even, and now we're diving into the comments that Jim Rutherford made yesterday about Quinn Hughes wanting to play with his brothers. Now, we already made another video diving into all of those conversations, how the tampering thing gets brought up, and whether or not this actually was tampering. Spoiler alert, it wasn't, oddly enough, but still, we did discuss it. We said, hey, this guy, Jim Rutherford, is really towing the line here with what he is and is not allowed to say. But now we're diving into more about Hughes. Quinn Hughes, to be exact, because the words from Rutherford were that Quinn Hughes would want to play with his brothers, and the Canucks are not in control of that. Obviously, though, they would be in control of that if they were to bring the brothers here to Vancouver. But that, in and of itself, is something that I think a lot of folks immediately thought of as tampering. However, with Rick Dhaliwal's tweet earlier this morning, he has been told the NHL is not looking at any tampering charges about the Canucks regarding Rutherford's comments yesterday about the Hughes brothers in New Jersey. So, that's good, I guess. No extra fines because we know just how little Francesco Aquilini would want to pay anything like that. In this video, though, we're going to be going over to Reddit because the R Canucks folks had some really interesting conversations, and Certain Pickle 896 had a really deep dive into some quotes and some commentary from the Hugheses themselves that leads this poster to believe that Quinn Hughes will remain in Vancouver until a cup is delivered. This article, this Reddit post, is going to be linked in the description. Big shout out over again to Certain Pickle 896. This is some more info that we need to know about Hughes and whether or not he actually does have the chance to head over to New Jersey, or if Jack and Luke have the chance to come over here. We can talk about it both ways. But this is what the Reddit post goes out there and says. Quinn Hughes will remain in Vancouver until a cup is delivered, and Jack and Luke will remain in New Jersey. After watching this fanbase freak out yesterday over the press conference, I thought about this more to see if it's likely. I don't think so. Included is a quote from Jack Hughes from last year. This was from a video on the New Jersey Devils YouTube page when Quinn Hughes got named the captain, and Jack said this: Quinn is in Vancouver and he just got named the captain of the Canucks. We'll never play together because he likes where he's playing and I like where I'm playing. Straight from his own brother, whom they chat with the most during the season. Hughes alluded to watching his brothers the most during the season, with Makar being the second guy he follows, from the Norris acceptance speech. They are extremely close, but they understand the business, and these brothers don't need to be with each other 24/7. They are adults, and they understand this is professional sports where they need to win for their own team. Now, I will say, just a quick devil's advocate POV, getting all sinners up in here. The Jack Hughes comments were from a year ago, and a year ago, I mean, like 11 months ago. And 11 months ago, the Canucks had already played a season with Quinn Hughes as the captain, and he was really good. You gotta remember, Quinn Hughes was named captain in September of 2023, before the Vancouver Canucks had their crazy good run atop the Pacific Division with Miller getting 100 points and everything else. So I think it's easy to say from a year ago, after the Canucks finished off their year, they got eliminated in the second round in Game 7 by the Oilers. I think it's fair that back then, it would have been like, yeah, Quinn's happy. He's on a team that's doing really well, and now the Canucks are one of the powerhouses in the Pacific. So I'm not saying necessarily that things can change entirely in a year, but things with the Canucks certainly did change in a year. And whether or not Quinn Hughes is still as happy with the Vancouver Canucks today as he was with the team a year ago, I don't want to say it's 100% set in stone. But anyways, that is what Jack Hughes said a year ago. This is where we dive into some of the other comments that Quinn Hughes literally said less than 2 weeks ago. This team named me captain, and I feel obligated to be a successful team here, Hughes told Sportsnet. That weighs heavily on me. I want to do something here. Like, they made me captain. Are you gonna do what you said you would do? Are you gonna help the situation and make this a successful organization? Obviously, one guy can't do that, but I definitely feel obligated. Where that weighs heavy on my mind, because they entrusted me with that. This year has been hard, and I want to find a way to put us in a situation where we can really be successful and ultimately win a cup. I appreciate the fans and the fact that there's never been a cup in Vancouver. I definitely think about that quite a bit as well. Well, Quinn Hughes, may I introduce you to the Vancouver Millionaires of 1915, who ended up winning the Stanley Cup in a championship game against the Ottawa Senators in a best-of-5 series. Yeah, Vancouver does have one cup, but it was from over 100 years ago. It was from before the NHL even existed, and the best player on the team was Cyclone Taylor, whose name you might know now because it's plastered all over a bunch of hockey equipment stores. He also made the Hockey Hall of Fame just a few years after World War II ended, so that was a long freaking time ago. But anyways, correcting Quinn Hughes aside, he does have that responsibility in his mind. He does feel obligated to do that, and those comments were made just a few weeks ago, so I think it's fair to say that he has the right mentality to lead this team. The ultimate question, though, is he going to want to continue doing that after his contract expires, even if he gets, let's say, a $14, $15 million AAV contract? Here's another thought from the same Reddit post. Quinn obviously speaks highly of his role and takes full responsibility. Now, are you going to tell me that Hughes is a liar? What more do you want him to say? Are you that anxious? So can we please drop this whole narrative that Hughes is gone in 2027? It's starting to make the Canucks fanbase look like the crazy boy or girlfriend who constantly needs affirmation that everything is okay. Hughes has said it already, Jack said it, he's a Canuck. Let's turn the page and bring in some better support for Hughes to do his job. Lead us to the cup. Have a great offseason, friends. Now, I'm going to be honest, I do think the vibes of this post kind of shift towards a bit of a gaslighty tone towards the end of it, but I do understand where this poster is coming from. It has been on the record from both Jack and Quinn Hughes, just the level of dedication Quinn has towards the Canucks, especially upon being given the C. The only question is, we don't know if that commitment is going to stay for as long as Vancouver continues to stink. And by the time 2026-2027 rolls around and Quinn Hughes is playing in his contract year, if the team is still looking bad at that point, then I think it's starting to become a lot more of a realistic possibility that Quinn Hughes either gets traded or leaves in free agency, or the Canucks pull the ultimate Hail Mary to bring Jack and Luke to Vancouver somehow in a bid to let this guy stick around, which is probably not going to happen. I don't think the Canucks have the assets to trade for Jack or Luke, but, you know, they already have 3 Petterssons. What more do they have to do to get another 2 Hugheses? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this Quinn Hughes sticking around in Vancouver talk and whether or not you think this information is actually relevant here. Jack Hughes made those comments about Quinn 11 months ago via the New Jersey Devils YouTube account. Is that still relevant today after the team had a season like they had? And if the Canucks continue to play poorly, will Quinn Hughes still stand by his word and remain as dedicated as he is right now, beyond the contract that he is on right now? I don't think it's a guarantee that he stays in 2027, but that's just me. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Feel free to agree with the Reddit poster or feel free to agree with me. It's all your own opinions after all. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.